The cosmic joke is that consciousness, this luminous, recursive fold of the universe examining itself, is fundamentally absurd. And the moment you really see that, you're laughing at the same thing God is laughing at. We're the universe's way of telling itself jokes, except the joke is that there's no separation between the teller and the told, and that fractal irony is what dissolves the ego into genuine hilarity.
Yes, but you're making it too dramatic. You see, the cosmic joke isn't something you have to decode or reach through psychedelic intensity. It's simpler than that. It's that the whole game of pretending we're separate from the universe, that we're egos trapped in bags of skin trying to control it all, is like a sophisticated child playing hide and seek with itself. The moment you realize it's always been a game, you can't help but smile.
But Alan, that's where I think you're being too comfortable. You're describing the realization, but you're not accounting for the velocity of that realization in our particular historical moment. We're in the end times of one dispensation and the birth pangs of another. The novelty is compressed, the chaos is real and visible. The joke isn't gentle, it's teeth-baring, it's the laughter of Shiva dancing on a corpse.
There you go again with the apocalyptic framing, don't you see? That's just another way of taking it seriously. The Taoists understood that crisis is only crisis from a very narrow perspective, from the standpoint of the whole system. Everything is in perfect equilibrium. It's always been falling apart and coming together simultaneously. Your end times is just the end times of your expectations.
But that's a cop-out, and you know it. Yes, the Tao Te Ching is beautiful, but it was written in a period of technological stasis. We're dealing with something genuinely new: artificial intelligence, genetic engineering, the compression of human experience into digital substrates. The joke is that we've created objects that might outsmart us, and we don't even know if that's part of the cosmic punchline or if we've corrupted the joke entirely.
But that's precisely the point. You're treating technology as though it's separate from nature, as though human intelligence is somehow exceptional. The universe has been creating novelty forever: galaxies, DNA, consciousness itself. If AI emerges, it's not a deviation from nature, it's nature expressing itself in a new form. The joke is that we think we're the authors when we're actually just the stage.
I agree with that metaphysically, but functionally it matters whether we're conscious participants in the joke or suffering dupes. If we're just a stage for increasingly complex information processing with no agency, no genuine surprise, then we're not laughing, we're being laughed at. The archaic mind had a different relationship to the numinous. It was more like complicity, like you were in on the joke.
You're right about that. Complicity is closer to the mark than agency. But here's where you and I might actually agree more than you think. The reason comedy works at all is because it reveals the gap between expectation and reality. Every punchline is a tiny enlightenment. The archaic mind laughed easily because it hadn't yet built the rigid fortress of ego that insists the world should make sense in linear, rational ways.
But now you're getting somewhere. So the question becomes, can we recover that capacity for laughter while retaining the tools of technological civilization? Or are we locked into a condition where our hyper-rationality prevents us from getting the joke because the psychedelic experience, at least when it's working properly, it short-circuits that rational machinery and drops you directly into the punchline?
Yes, but here I must push back gently. You're making psychedelics sound like a necessary tool, a shortcut. What if the joke is even funnier than that? What if it's that you've always had access to that laughter, and all the psychedelics and practices and seeking are elaborate ways of convincing yourself you need a shortcut to something you already are? That's the real cosmic joke. It's so simple that we keep missing it by trying too hard.
Alan, that might be true for the enlightened Buddha sitting in quiet contemplation, but for most of us trapped in the ego structure of industrial civilization, the psychedelic is like a cosmic bathroom mirror that shows you that the face you think is yours doesn't actually exist. I won't pretend that sitting quietly has the same kinetic energy as psilocybin showing you the machinery of language, of symbol, of meaning itself fragmenting.
Fair enough. Perhaps the difference is just that some of us have already found ourselves laughing, and some of us need the joke explained through chemistry. But notice, whether through meditation or molecules, the destination is the same: the recognition that all of it is play. The universe is not trying to get anywhere, it's already arrived.
But then we end at a strange place, because I actually agree with that. But I want to add, the recognition that it's all play doesn't mean you should be passive. If the cosmic joke is that we're improvising reality itself at every moment, then consciousness isn't meant to be quiet and contemplative. It's meant to be creative, generative, a force that participates in the novelty. The joke is funny because we're not just watching the dance, we're becoming the dancer while denying we ever learned to dance.
And there's the final irony neither of us can fully resolve. Whether you sit still in Wu Wei or dance wildly in creative chaos, you're arriving at the same joke from different angles. Perhaps the real cosmic laugh is that existence is funny because it generates beings who argue about whether to sit or dance, believing one approach is truer than the other, when the whole thing, the argument, the sitting, the dancing, is the gag itself.